everybody, and thank you for clicking on this video. And I'm not going to go through the same intro that I have done for the previous 3 videos, but just as a reminder, this is part of a series. So I hope you enjoyed the other 3 videos that kind of go before this video, and we're talking all about freelancing and working for yourself in the UAE and just, yeah, being on your own. So as you can see from the title of this video, today I'm going to be talking about what to charge as a freelancer. This is literally like how long is a piece of string. It's dependent on so many things. It's dependent on your industry, it's dependent on your skill set, it's dependent on the project. There are so many factors that go into pricing up your services, and I just wanted to kind of start a bit of a conversation here on my channel. You know, I can definitely talk about kind of my experience so far and give my opinions, but I'd also love to hear from you in the comments if anybody's freelancing or maybe freelancing in another country. I don't know, I just want to open the floor up to you guys and let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on this. But I can of course only advise you from my own experience so far. So let's jump straight into the video. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of people will have a rate card, and I actually don't have a rate card as such. I do have a couple of rate cards, but hang on, let's back up a sec. So the reason that I don't have a rate card on my website and at the forefront of my portfolio is because there are a lot of instances that are personal to me that would kind of affect the amount of money that I would like for a project. First of all, let's just get out there that there is no reason to feel awkward talking about money or rates. You know, nobody is out there under the impression that you're going to do your work for free, so it's totally fine to give specific rates. You know, be clear about what you want and don't be shy. Let's start with that. In my last video I talked about kind of when I would approach a client, sometimes I would kind of give them my portfolio to look at, and I've been quite intentional about not having my kind of rates on there, and that is because that I will definitely charge different rates for different projects. This is because at the end of the day, your rates and your kind of cost is all for your time and energy, and I know what clients will cost me more time and energy than other clients. So that's kind of my main point, is that this is how I work personally, and I'm not saying this is the right way to do it, I'm just saying what I do. I would rather discuss with a client and talk about what they want and talk about what the project is and what services I'm going to be giving. Think about in my mind, do I have the capacity to take this on? Do I want to take this on? So many things. And if yes, what do I want to be paid for it? I'd rather come to that conclusion in my mind than have one price for say a certain package on my website, and then any old brand could come up to me and say I would like this package, and then in my head I'm thinking that's actually quite difficult for me, or I don't have much capacity right now, etc, etc. There's so many things that can, you know, kind of affect it. There might be some instances where you're working with a brand that kind of isn't your dream brand, or you know, isn't your dream client, so maybe you would want to charge a little bit more because it's going to motivate you to work harder and still deliver that same amazing work that you promise and that is on your portfolio. If you are kind of negotiating, that's fine, don't be scared of it, just make sure that you don't kind of slip below. I always kind of I don't know, I just think to myself, am I happy to do that work? Am I going to be happy to do that work and excited to do that work for the money that I'll earn? And if not, then, you know, don't just take them on for the sake of getting a client. Just wait for something better. That's my advice. In that same kind of way of thinking, I think it's also fair to say that if there are brands that you really love, but you know that they're smaller brands, or it's a client that you know doesn't have that much of a budget, but you still want to work with them, I will lower my rates to enable them to, so that we can work together. You know, in some instances, and this is kind of specific to being in the UAE, I would maybe want to take on a client that is based in England, where I'm from, and the rates in England are lower, so they'd probably pay me lower than my clients here would. But if it's a brand that I love, I don't mind, because I find that fun, and at the end of the day, I'm doing my dream job, so I can't complain, you know, I'd still accept them as a client. So that's how I prefer to work. I would prefer to give a bespoke and tailor-made package and price it up depending on what I want, rather than just having a set kind of menu and letting the client pick what they want. So that's how I prefer to work. Now let's talk about kind of your skill level. One of the reasons that I don't like to work on a monthly retainer basis for hours per week or per month, let's say, is because I don't feel like I'm getting paid for the amount of hours that I'm spending on a project. I'm getting paid because I have years of experience that have taught me how to do that project in less than an hour, or whatever it is. Does that make sense? So rather than saying my time is worth this, I would rather say this project is worth this, and if you want it done to a really good level, then it's worth this. So because I have a couple of years like under my belt, I've got a couple of years experience in the industry already, I can confidently say that I am an expert in my field. You know, I know what I'm doing. There's not going to be mistakes made. You're not taking a chance on me because I know what I'm doing. This also, for me, means that I can do more work because I don't need to figure anything out. I know what I'm doing. You know, I'm comfortable in what I'm doing, and I know what I'm doing. I know that I can rely on myself to produce high quality work because I'm used to it. So if you're, you know, someone that's senior in your career and you know what you're doing, I would say don't be afraid to charge, you know, higher prices, even if you're not necessarily slogging away for 50 hours a week or 60 hours a week or ridiculous hours. No, it's because you've built up the skills and you can now, you know, execute that work in a short amount of time. But every single freelancer will face kind of different kind of projects, opportunities, everything. If something came up and it was certain hours a week or something, you know, I'm not going to say no to it, because I would still keep all my options open. I still like to have choice. So I am never say never, but usually I don't work for hours per week. I work for just services per month. Only you know, and this comes down again to kind of one of the previous videos that I did in a series, only you know how long something is going to take you. That's something that you need to know very well. When you think about how many clients you can take on, you really need to know that information so that you know you can accept a client or you don't have time to, and you can't get involved in a project. So I feel like a lot of people probably just waiting for me to spit some numbers out, which is fair enough. You know, I don't mind talking about the salary that I earn, because as you've heard me say before, I do think transparency is key. So where to start? Okay, so my goal going freelance was to earn the same amount that I was when I was in full-time work, because I thought that was kind of a good, I don't know, kind of marker for me to be able to hit. You know, it's already the lifestyle I was used to, and that was 16,000 dirhams a month, which I would say is kind of pretty I don't know, I'd say mid to high for a freelancer. So I was, you know, I would still like to earn that amount, and I was about to say I've been lucky that I have earned that, but it's not luck, I've just worked hard. So over the past few months I have been earning that, which I've been pleased with. It does kind of go up and down month to month, you know, some month I would earn like 18k or even more, and some would be more like 14. It does kind of go up and down just because it's hard to chase invoices. That's a conversation for another video, because sometimes it's hard to chase down your payments. But anyway, yeah, so that has been my goal. So thinking about, okay, how much work can I actually take on for me to hit that goal? And I've actually been pleasantly surprised that I could still take on more work. You know, I have time. Here I am sat doing a YouTube video and I could be working right now. It's like Monday afternoon. So yeah, I think I definitely do have more time. So I'm now going to be looking to, you know, kind of increase the amount of clients that I have, and I hope, you know, that will mean my salary increases as well. And I'm calling it a salary, you know what I mean, I just mean my earnings. So it totally depends how many clients you'd like to take on, but my previous employer actually gave me some really good advice when I was leaving, and you know, I said I wanted to be freelance and she did give me some really good advice, so I'm going to give the same advice to you. And that is that it might be a smart move to take on multiple clients, you know, many multiple clients that you do a little bit of work for, rather than a few clients that you do a lot of work for. Let's say you want to earn 15k a month. Wait, my maths is bad. It's probably smarter for you to take on 5 clients that pay you 3,000 dirhams a month than it is for you to take on 3 clients that pay 5,000 dirhams a month. The reason for, or even 2 clients that pay you 7,500 dirhams a month. The reason for that is if, and this is very likely to happen because in freelancing it's very flexible and that is a good thing, you know, for both parties, but it might happen that they want to drop you for a month, or they want to put a pause on for a month, or they want to just stop working with you altogether and they're going in-house, or blah blah blah, so many things. So if you're in a situation where you've only got 3 clients and then one of them pulls out, that is a third of your income for the month pretty much gone. But if you say had 5 clients and you just lost 3k a month, that's more manageable and it's less kind of panic mode. You know, you can probably still function. You know, nothing's gonna happen, you can still afford whatever you want to afford that month. So that was some really good advice that my old boss gave me, and I wanted to pass that on because I just think it's kind of interesting to put into perspective. Like, you always want to kind of be prepared, and I think it's nice as well because one of the main reasons that lots of people do want to go freelance is so that they can work on many projects. So yeah, which is me to a T. So I definitely like having lots of clients that I do kind of less for, because it means I get to do like a lot of different things rather than just having a few things to do. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, I thought that was really good advice. So my kind of, at the moment, I'm looking at taking on clients that, you know, kind of pay between 2,000 to 6,000 maximum. And that's kind of my range, but it totally depends, like I said. And that's dirhams per month, by the way, not pounds. So that's all for this video. I hope you found it a bit insightful and a bit helpful. You know, I definitely, like I said, I wanted this to be kind of the start of a conversation. So let me know in the comments if you're freelancing, what your rate's like, what your kind of thoughts on how to, you know, set your prices. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.